everybody. Welcome to our third day of our daily article. Today we're going to be reading an article called Conquering Everest. And to conquer something means that you beat it. So conquering Everest means that you beat Everest. So afterwards we'll review what we learned. Right now, if you'd like to follow along on your own copy, you can do that. I'm going to read aloud the article. The article is about a famous mountain. It's the tallest in the world, and it's called Mount Everest. Mount Everest is the tallest mountain on Earth. Its peak is located on the border between Nepal and Tibet in China. It is part of the Great Himalayan Mountain Range. So China is in Asia. So Mount Everest is located on the continent of Asia. For many years, climbers tried and failed to reach the summit of Mount Everest. The summit means the top. In 1953, the British put everything they had into giving it one more try. They hoped that their climbers would reach the top in time for the coronation of Queen Elizabeth. So in Britain, they have a queen, Queen Elizabeth. She's actually still the queen, and they wanted to really impress her for the special party she was having. So they thought that if they could get climbers to reach the top of Mount Everest first, that would be a really big deal. Oh, we have a visitor. Hello, Pearl, and goodbye. All right, I'm sorry. Now we're on Paragraph 3. 10 different climbers from all over the world were chosen to make the trek. In April and May, supplies were relayed up the mountain, and camps were set up every 1,000 to 2,000 feet. Camps is where the climbers would stop and take a rest, go to sleep, let their bodies adjust to the higher air, because when you get higher up, it's called elevation. The higher you go, the thinner the air is to breathe. So they have to stop at different levels of the mountain to let their bodies adjust to the new air. On May 29th, 1953, 2 of the climbers set out for the summit from their camp at 27,900 feet. So they were already really high up. On that morning, Edmund P. Hillary from New Zealand and Tenzing Norgay from Nepal accomplished one of the greatest climbing feats ever. They were the first to reach the summit of Mount Everest. Wow, so Edmund and Tenzing, they were the first people ever in the whole world to reach the top of Mount Everest. And that was on May 29th, 1953. When they returned home, journalists kept asking the 2 men who reached the summit first. Each time they were asked, the response was the same. We reached it together as a team. So they're saying that afterwards, everybody was asking the 2 men who got to the top of the mountain first. Because obviously, if it was 2 people, one of them probably got to the top first unless they took the first step onto the top of the mountain together. So they wanted to know who was it that got to the mountain first, and neither one of the guys would say because they said they reached it together as a team. So that was a strong showing of teamwork. Okay, well, that was an interesting article. So let's just quickly go over what we learned from the article, the key points. So first, we learned that Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world, and we know that it's located on the border of China and Nepal, and it is in the continent of China. We know that the British wanted to reach the top of Mount Everest first so that they could impress the Queen. We know that they sent 10 climbers, so 10 climbers tried to climb the mountain, but only 2 made it to the top, and that was on May 29th, 1953, and we also know that they used teamwork. So they didn't want to say who reached the top first, they used teamwork and reached it together. Okay, Pearl, say goodbye, You guys are going to reread your articles and then you will answer your questions. All right.